Love and brief. Coral reef.
Oh, it rhymes.
Welcome to Love and Brief, a not-so-brief ABDL podcast focused on issues of love. Love for community, love for self,
Oh, I like that one.
love for diapers.
Yep, I do love those quite a bit.
Love for questions.
Well, that works out well as a transition point here.
I think we're going to take some questions
I think we are too.
Take some questions from the listeners.
Let's do it. This is our spring question roundup, so it only seems appropriate that we should, round up some questions.
Yes.
And we have 6 questions today to address. And I am Resident Yes, and I am here with my partner,
Lola.
Lola, tell me about your love right now.
I have such a love for Smash Day.
So we were watching Queer Eye, yesterday?
Yeah.
And somebody on there made smash burgers. And
Anthony, food and drink.
that's right. And we knew that our anniversary was coming up today, 4 years. And so we decided to make a whole smash theme out of it. So we're having smash burgers.
We're going to smash some potatoes.
We are going to play Smash Brothers.
We are currently drinking bourbon smashes.
And maybe later we'll smash a little bit.
Let's
you know what I'm
smash
saying?
each other. Do you want to? Oh my God. Should we just be bad and not even do it?
Let's be naughty. This is an advice podcast. And so we have the good fortune that people are constantly sending us questions and things.
We're going to smash them.
We're going to smash these questions.
Yes.
Things that they want to know more about. And so once a quarter, we do a roundup where we just grab 6 of these questions or so and share them with each other, ask each other these questions. And based on all the wisdom that we have gained through years and years of being in the community and learning from our other friends on this show and out in the world, we do our best to try and answer them. So hopefully we'll do a good job today.
You don't have to be the best. You just have to try your best.
That's right. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well, let's get started. How about...
Can I ask you the first question?
That doesn't seem all... Yes.
Please?
Yes.
Yay. All right. This question comes from Ruffles. I am a fan of your ridges, by the way.
Oh, great ridges.
Ruffles on FetLife. And this was a very long submission. So just in, the brevity's sake, I'm going to summarize a little bit at the beginning. So this person had a pretty difficult period back in, I think, the early 2000s, where they were dealing with some mental health issues and crises. And they hit a pretty low point, but decided, let's go ahead and give in to wearing this thing that I want to wear, which is called diapers.
Yeah, it sounded like they're going through a rough period, just life factors and all sorts of things piled on together.
And I think they realized that diapers were sort of a coping mechanism for them. So, all right, that was a summary. And here's the part from Ruffles. Somewhere between 2010 and 2015, I had an epiphany regarding diapers and why I still wore them. I came to the realization... I think they're from the UK because it has an S instead of a Z.
Instead of a Z?
Yeah.
I wish they had written the word aluminium in there, and we would have known for sure.
That they had been another coping mechanism through my mental anguish.
All right.
In 2016, I met someone who, despite being vanilla in her day-to-day life, was tolerant of others who explored kinks and sexuality. I was so fortunate that we hit it off and a strong relationship started.
Nice.
I no longer felt the need to wear diapers to cope with day-to-day living. I had her, my rock.
Aw.
Through the next few years, our relationship deepened further and we married. Whoop, whoop.
Nice.
I was in 7th heaven. I was coping with life and everything it threw at me. Unemployment, finding a new job, moving home, everything. I stumbled upon the Love and Brief podcast and enjoyed its content along with other kink podcasts.
Cool.
And this brings me towards the present day. Having listened to the various diaper podcasts, it has reignited a fire to wear diapers again. The thing is, my wife doesn't know of this part of my history.
Okay.
And I've not volunteered the information either. I know in past podcasts your recommendation is to be open, but if I was to wear again and not enjoy it, having previously told my wife there'd be no going back, but of course, if I enjoy it, then I could find a way to tell her.
Ah, okay.
So today, here, I am messaging you, seeking the green light to explore this past kink again, dipping my toe in the water, if you will. If I start to wear again and find the desire is already sated, then life can carry on as before with my wife still in the dark. However, should I enjoy the feelings again of wearing and wetting myself, then my wife will be told. Who knows? She may even have repressed feelings to wear herself.
Oh, who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, okay. So I'm seeking the green light to explore this past kink again. Well, certainly neither of us is qualified to give you a green light, but we can certainly address the question,
Yes.
I think. And this is a really interesting one because I think a lot of folks discover their ABDL kink via sort of a sexual connection to it at a relatively young age, and as their sort of their sexuality is maturing. And it remains that for a long time. And they may go through binge and purge cycles. But what you're describing is a little different, which is that during a really difficult, tumultuous period of your life, you didn't necessarily uncover it as a part of your sexual maturation process, but you uncovered it as a coping mechanism, although not realizing it until later, right?
Right.
And that it had helped carry you through what sounds like a really difficult time. Then that difficult time ended. And you also, I don't know if it's related, but you met somebody who really, really loves you and you got married. And that's awesome that you found somebody that you connect with so well. So the question on the table is, what if I don't like it again? What if I experiment and it doesn't do anything for me? But I already told her, now the cat's out of the bag.
Right.
Now we have this weird conversation about diapers that isn't relevant anymore.
Right. I think this is a really interesting kind of dilemma here because I've never really put myself in this position of what if I wear and I actually really, really like it? Or what if I wear and I realize like it doesn't do the thing for me anymore and I don't need it? I've never been in that position before.
Why do you think you've never been in that position?
Well, because I'm not factory installed like you. And I've never used diapers as a coping mechanism. I've always been, they've been more of like a first gateway to other kinks. And then second, just like a joyous thing that's in my life.
Yeah.
So
you don't wonder, is the thrill going to be gone for me? Because you adopted the thrill to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, so normally for folks who listen to the podcast a lot, they would think that my first answer would be, of course, tell your wife, right?
That's what I would think.
Right? But I don't think that this time. So if indeed it was a very contextual thing, we all go through periods of our lives where something means a whole lot to you during a time. Picture when you're a little kid and you have your blankie, right? And that thing is essential to your daily existence as a lovey or a coping mechanism or whatever it happens to be. And then you outgrow it, right?
I had Bungie, who was a bunny.
Oh.
Bungie's still in my memorabilia.
Yeah, I still have mine too, or what's left of it.
You had a blankie.
I did. I had a proper blankie, but now it's just a square of blankie. But that's a perfectly normal thing that happens. And because you were going through such a difficult time, and it doesn't sound like you had a whole lot of sort of diaper interest or involvement before then, it is possible, though I would guess improbable, but it's possible that it really was just for that place and time. And it may not be a kink. It may have been just a coping mechanism. Now, I'm going to put a big asterisk on that I don't know a whole lot of people who have been into it and then weren't. But then again, look who I hang out with. A bunch of, lifelong pervy folk. So I think you are well within your rights to ask, if you're asking in earnest and you really don't know the answer, is this still interesting to me? I think you certainly could try it in a way that feels safe and not like you're lying, but is there a way that you could try it? The same way that you might try anything, right? You don't necessarily go to your partner for permission to try everything.
Sure.
And then if it's still got some power in your life and you think you want to continue doing it, then that's a good time to have that conversation. But if you try it and you're like, no, it was a blankie, I don't need it anymore and I don't want it anymore and it doesn't do anything for me, great. That question is answered. Now, my guess is, based on the fact that you're interested in it, that you even bothered to look up podcasts about it and listen to them, and that you're writing me, my guess is your interest is probably a little stronger than that. and that it may still be there when you come to revisit it. But why not answer the question? What do you think?
Well, my gentle Love and Brief listeners, I've also been watching Bridgerton. We've come to a point where like I have differing opinion here.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen that often.
No, it's nice.
I think, like you just said in the last part of what you were saying, I think because you're listening to kink podcasts and kink podcasts involving diapers, my guess is that it's not just a coping mechanism, because if you, from what I gather from your message, you are living a pretty happy, normal life, and you're still listening to podcasts, that there is this lingering desire and want. And I think I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of your wife and empathize with that. I think as your wife, I would want to know this part of your history and that you're interested in maybe just trying it again. I don't know if that's the right advice, but I think so. Either you're going to have to tell her anyways because you want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Or you tell her and now you have a deeper bond and you don't want to do it and she doesn't have to deal with it anyways.
But the deeper bond would come out of sharing something so intimate.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this may come up again in 10 years, right?
Right.
So I think if you have a deep connection and you guys have been together since, 2010, 2015, that's a long time, that I think that, I don't want to say she has the right to know, but I think that I think it would be nice for her to know you deeper. I think that would be nice for her to know.
And it sounds like she'd be accepting based on the description.
Correct.
Let me throw a third thing out there.
Uh-oh.
It was a coping mechanism then. Life is hard. Maybe it's a coping mechanism now. Because we are all coping every day. And these are not easy times.
Sure.
And so it's possible that this is inviting you to look at what you might be coping with. And to examine that with your wife. And to say, hey, I've had this draw towards this thing I used to use as a coping mechanism. And it makes me wonder if there's something that is amiss. It could just be, the tumult of the political environment we're in. It could be that there's a unmet need somewhere. But it does merit exploration. And it could be an exploration that you could tackle together.
Yeah. Can I put a fourth thing out there?
Ooh, a fourth thing.
Perhaps it was a coping mechanism, but now it doesn't have to be. I have friends in the community that diapers mean different things to them at different parts of their life. And sometimes it's a coping mechanism, and sometimes it's just a wonderful, lovely thing accepted about themselves.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it's a magic button for some folks like me. And it's possible that not filling her in is removing from her the opportunity to press that magic button and watch what happens. Now, again, if you re-engage it and it does nothing for you, then you don't want to hand her a magic button that does nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
I think either way, this is obviously something on your mind. I do think that whether you take our advice or not, I do think it's something you need to explore either way right now.
Yeah. This is a fun one. I like this one. Let me introduce a fifth. No, I don't have a fifth thing. Those are all the things
and
that I
a
have.
sixth, I tell you.
You're getting extra bonus things on this episode of Love and Brief. All right, let me give you one, Lola, to tackle.
Okay.
This one came from Catavan on Reddit, who sent us a bunch of great questions. This was one of them.
What is catavan? Is that a word?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
At what point does seeking care turn into relying too much on someone else? What signs indicate that the dynamic between a little and a caregiver is no longer healthy? And I'll just expand the question a little bit to say between two partners or even a dom and a sub is no longer healthy. Because I know there's a lot of relationships out there that may have decisive and choiceful power imbalances that aren't little and caregiver in the ABDL world. So at what point does seeking care turn into relying too much on someone else, and what signs indicate that the dynamic between these two people, is no longer healthy.
Ooh,
I thought this would be a good one for you.
That's a hard one.
Those are my favorite kind.
I also like when you're hard too. Interesting. Okay, so there's a few ways that I'm thinking about this and want to tackle it. The first and foremost is I, just by virtue of who I am, personality and naturally, I am a caregiver, and not necessarily in like a caregiver little way, but like overall caregiver.
Taking care of people at large.
Taking care of people at large. My couple of my jobs are all about taking care of people in different ways. So I think that is by nature who I am. And as someone who is a caregiver, there are absolutely times where it feels like a burden. That doesn't mean that I don't also overall love it and want to do it. So there have been times in my past and past relationships where I have been caregiver in a very literal sense of like medically, and as well as like dutifully, I guess. And I think that it's time to question maybe the relationship of the caregiving versus what you're getting back when resentment comes up.
Oh, that's like your trigger. That's your sign.
Yes.
That you're feeling resentment.
Yes.
That's the thing. Okay.
There are times, I have to be honest, I have struggled with this, and there's still times where I struggle with this in my life. But I'm learning to make the distinction between resentment and I just don't want to do this right now.
So in the moment, I don't want to do it versus I'm just generally feeling resentment. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you feel general resentment, like even thinking ahead into times you may be with your partner or your little, and you're like, ugh, and you have that overall feeling of just thinking about being with them, that's resentment.
Ooh, if you can feel your shoulders slump when you think about we're going to be together on Thursday or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Or and then to compare, sometimes if there's a feeling that somebody asks for a diaper change or somebody asks for their balls to be tickled, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this right now. That's different. That's like an in the moment thing that like maybe you just really don't want to do that thing right now, or maybe you're very tired. Maybe you've had a stressful day. Maybe there's some need that hasn't been met yet. Like you might actually literally just be hungry or something. So in the moment, if you find that, I think it's okay to stop and be like, I love you and I don't want to do this right now, but maybe in an hour or two, I want to do this. That's different than looking forward and being like, oh, I don't want to take care of this person, right? Like, I can't imagine doing that right now.
Yeah.
That's resentment. And I think resentment leads to very unhealthy relationships and unhealthy bonds, and can lead, or can, I guess not lead to, but maybe show up in very codependent relationships.
So that's a magical word that I was going to bring up, and I'm glad you did. When you say codependent, what does that mean to you?
Codependent means two people in a relationship, or maybe three if it's a throuple, but the people that are in the relationship are looking to the other person to meet most, if not all of their needs, and look to them instead of themselves for their own overall well-being.
Yeah. That's such an important word for this discussion. When it begins to become that you are my sole lifeline for my emotional needs, my physical needs, either or both, that's a good sign that maybe things are out of balance. If I can't leave and you'll be okay.
Right.
And maybe there's, financial or whatever, like that's different, right?
Yeah. And I think it can show up in different ways. That in my past, I never had that situation necessarily, but when you are either asked to and you know, your partner is looking to, or you at least feel like your partner is looking to you to be pretty much every role in their life, that is codependency as well.
Yeah.
Even though they can go out and adult and do all the things, but then they want you to be their lover, their partner, their best friend, their caregiver, their therapist, all of the things.
Their only source of comfort.
Yeah.
Their only confidant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's codependency.
So 2 signs, because the question did ask what signs indicate. 2 that I'm hearing are resentment and that your partner needs you for basically literally everything. You couldn't leave for 2 days and they would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with both. I do think the other sign, and maybe it's just part of resentment, is remember that a little caregiver relationship or a dom-sub relationship or just a person-person relationship is meant to be mutually beneficial and mutually enjoyable and mutually life-giving most of the time. It's never going to be all of the time, but most of the time.
Yeah.
And if you find that you're in a relationship where you are not getting life out of it, but you sure find yourself giving a lot of your life to it. So picture somebody who maybe you start out thinking, boy, being a caregiver is really hot. And they think being a little is really hot. And then you get 6 months in and you're like, I'm exhausted and I don't think it's fun anymore and I don't want to do it anymore. And the little's like, what are you talking about? This is the greatest thing ever. You may have learned something about yourself. And that is that you don't want to be a full-time caregiver, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to not want. Just as they might find they don't want to be a full-time little. I mean, it works both ways.
Sure.
Same with doms and subs and everybody. So if it's not mutually beneficial most of the time, whatever most is to you, 51% or 90%, if it's not mutually beneficial, if you're not enjoying yourself in that role most of the time, then it's time to look at, do I need a break? Do we need to switch? Do we need to equalize for a bit? And I think one of the things that happens as we get in these relationships, especially in kink, because we have labels applied like little and caregiver and baby and mommy and you know what I mean? And dom and sub. I think we sort of apply these labels and then feel like we have to ride them out to the ends of the earth. And that's just, kink is meant to serve us, you know, not the other way around. So if you find that it doesn't feel good for long periods of time, you might be exhausted. You might need to take a break. You might need to switch. Or maybe that job is not a job you want anymore. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be really difficult to have those conversations, though.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So I think there are times where sometimes I don't want to do something. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's just I don't want to do it right then. And as someone in a power dynamic, either way, you know, being little or big, what do you think would be a gentle way to hear from that other partner? Like, I don't want to do this right now.
So you're saying from a dom perspective,
Yeah.
how do I want to hear from my sub?
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I think one of the things that is really exciting for me when we're in dynamic, either way, honestly, but I'm thinking specifically of when I'm in a dom dynamic, is that we are having a mutual exchange of power that is mutually enjoyable, enthusiastic, and beneficial. And when that's not possible, I would much rather know that right now it's not possible than to fake our way through it. And I know that there are people who follow really strict protocols, and good for them. And maybe following protocol is the joy of it, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe knowing that they ride it out at the times when they don't want to actually brings more joy than not riding it out.
Sure. Yeah, that's powerful.
Great. Good for you. But only you would know that if that's true, right? But if you're on the regular or even just occasionally, like, I genuinely will not enjoy this experience, then I'm not going to enjoy that experience. And I would much rather know at adult to adult, not dom to sub or sub to dom. I, as an adult, I just cannot enjoy this right now. I would love to enjoy it. Can we come back to it? I would much rather have that.
Yeah.
Unless, again, the point is to like tough it out. Some people really like that. Like I did it even though I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that actually is the kink thrill of it? Okay, well, that's different.
For me, it's like I there's a different mindset where in my brain or saying out loud where I'm like, I hate this. As like, I just don't want to do this right now.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, they're two different things. And you have to be honest with yourself about that feeling. And same with the resentment. You have to be honest. Is this resentment?
Right.
Or is it just a distaste for it right this second?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's a grown-up skill to tell the difference, but it's an important one.
The last little thing I'll throw out there is that sometimes as a caregiver in many, 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 many different ways in my life and relationships, when I do come to those times where I'm like, oh my God, I just gave you a juice box and now you need another juice box. When I have those moments, I try to really come back to my gratefulness practice of thinking about why I chose this and why I like this and why I'm good at this in the first place. And if I just take a minute, then usually I'm like, okay, then I'm fine. But if you find yourself being like, I am not fine, then maybe that's something different and some sort of boundaries that need to be set.
Yeah, and I don't care how 24/7 your dynamic is. If you can't blow a whistle and say, I cannot possibly volunteer enthusiastic consent in this moment and have the other person respect that, then you guys have other conversations to have about the nature of your relationship. And I'm not saying you're doomed. I'm saying you need to sit down as two adults outside of the power dynamic and have the conversation about consent. Right?
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. All right. You got one for me?
I do have one for you.
We're tackling the heavy shit right out of the gate here.
I know. I
is it
going to
get lighter?
So we normally look at these just a little bit before we record, and I was like, "Oh, this one's gonna be hard," and I did it. So gold star
job.
for me.
Nice job, Lola.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. This next question comes from Little Guy Ow.
AU?
Little Guy
Like Australia?
Gayao. Yeah. From Fat Life.
Super cool part of our Fat Life group and really, really great participant.
Shout out to Fat Life group. All right. This person says, I'm shortly moving back to a big city where there are several distinct groups within the ABDL community, mostly because of breakups or perceived misunderstandings. It often means you cannot hang out with two particular friends at once, or both friends can attend a specific event because of someone else who may attend. Any tips for overcoming this type of obstacle? It's saddening that the already small field of potential friends in this relatively small community is segmented even further.
Yeah. I'm so glad that this is on the docket today because we were just dealing with this like literally yesterday in our own experience. And we run with some pretty awesome people. But anytime you have a group of people who share something, they're going to not share some other things. And I'll tell you what, 3, 4, 5 or more people, just try deciding where to go out to a bar together, much less what your basic kink practices and values are, right? You're going to have people who, for whatever reason, have massive disagreements on things that really matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you'll have people who are just downright dangerous, right? And that's a whole different problem.
Sure. I don't think that's what this person is
I don't think that's what they're saying either. But then add on to it that we are in a kink community, which means you're going to have romances. You're going to have people dating people and people breaking up with people and people playing with people and then people playing with other people and the first people getting mad about it.
Really.
Yeah, it's a pretty small community when you get down to it.
Yeah.
So fractioning is going to happen.
Yeah.
And there is going to be groups of folks who, for whatever reason, don't feel comfortable hanging around with other groups of folks, even when there's only a handful of folks.
Yeah.
Floating around in any given city. And it's hard.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to be like, no, everybody just has to get along, but it doesn't work that way.
I wish everyone was just rainbows and sunshine and could get along.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not always the case.
Yeah. So the way that I have chosen to deal with it is, it helps to know the really obvious ones, right? So I've got 2 friends, for instance, who were together for a very long time and then broke up and both of them they're over it. They don't want to be around the other person. So I just don't invite them to the same thing. It's a total bummer. Yeah. Both of them are awesome people, but they have a lot of history that's going to make both of their experience miserable if they're both there.
Yeah.
So that one's easy, right? You know, if person A is there, you don't invite person B and vice versa. The other thing that I do is that when we're having a get-together, we tend to share who else we're inviting to the get-together. And we say, hey, here's the guest list. Here's the 10 people that we want to have this cabin experience with, or we want to have over to the house for a party, or we're going to have, for the weekend. And then that gives anybody the opportunity, because we share it with them one-on-one. Hey, here's the other 9 people we're inviting, to say, I'm not comfortable with that person. And without judgment, I get to say, totally get it.
Yeah.
And so sorry that you have to miss this one. I, of course, would love to have you there, but I 100% respect that.
Of course. We always respect their decision.
Yep.
And I always want people to do what feels good and right. So.
Yeah. And then at the next thing, sometimes we'll do something that is for the other person. And we just know, okay, we're going to have you, but not them. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
And we've done that. It's a bummer. It's a total bummer. But it's how human beings work. I'm a part of a number of communities, not just the ABDL community, and I've seen it in every single.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is just an ABDL thing.
It is not. But it is complicated because we're in a romantic community and a play community, so things get a little bit more barbed.
Sure, of course, yeah.
But for sure, this is just part of the human experience. So my encouragement would be to just be open about who you're going to be with.
Yep.
If you're running the event or you're having people come over or whatever, just let everybody know who the other people are who might attend and check in. It's sort of like asking, do you have any allergies before you order a meal? It's nice to know that you really don't do well with this other person.
Yeah.
And when people opt out, that's okay.
Yeah, and be respectful of that, because then they'll feel comfortable to do that and maybe come to your next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can switch who's coming to what.
Yeah.
That's okay. I hope that's helpful. It is saddening, but we move on because this is the human experience in every single sub-community I've ever been a part of.
For sure. Even in our relatively small city, this is also a thing.
Yeah.
It just is the way,
I probably am that person for somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's somebody who won't come to stuff because I'm there. I'm sure of it. And that's okay. So, we just move on. It's tough, but it's going to happen, and try not to judge it too hard. All right, Lola, you ready?
Yes.
Another fantastic listener friend who is engaged with us on both Instagram and FetLife all days. This is the question. I feel I'm too much alone with my kink. I spend time reading, browsing, writing when I have the inspiration, commenting, sharing, likes, loves. I have several kink friends who are struggling with the same. Lust and good mood is often a bittersweet reminder of loneliness and depression. I'm trying to manage my expectations because for me and for many others, this is an on and off game when our vanilla life offers us an option to play. I long for these occasions, but entering with high hopes, it often leaves me with an emptiness and a loneliness. And then a new friend or a new source of joy appears and I think, yes, this is it. And I go crazy. I'm unable to manage my expectations. Love and Brief is a source of joy, and listening to the various episodes is wonderful, but it also highlights what I'm missing, that I am not part of any real communities, that my kink and my life are separate. And basically, what I think I need is more a friend who understands than a play partner. So do you have any good advice on how to make those friends without being a jerk, without being impatient, and without unrealistic expectations?
Ooh,
this is a really rich
hard.
question.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all of that with us all days.
Yes, I agree. And all days, you are a super awesome, fun, fan, and loyal friend.
Agreed.
Yeah, so.
So do you have any advice for our friend?
Oh, that's so hard.
On how do you make these genuine friends that don't leave you with that lonely feeling?
Yeah. I want to start with the caveat that, like, I'm a girl.
What?
In this community.
Oh.
And so I imagine that I get a lot more attention than most male presenting people in our community online.
I see. Yeah.
So I just want to caveat that.
Yeah. Do you feel like that aids you in making friends more easily?
Yes.
I see. Yes.
I do. But it's interesting because I can think about it from the other side, right? Like I get so many messages. And so maybe that's where I will think about this one, because I don't really have experience the other way.
Yeah.
I would say that the people that I have become friends with, either pretty, religiously online, I should say we keep up online, or friends that I've then become like in real life friends with, those people are first and foremost genuine and bring their like full selves to me. We all have this kink. We all have a thing in common that we like diapers or wedding or humiliation. But that's not the only thing that I want to talk about and then I want to see and learn from somebody that I want to spend time with. So whether that is an online person or someone that I spend time with in real life, I want to know more about you and I want to feel like we're having a genuine conversation. I would also say for those of you who are reaching out to people, trying to make friends and find friends, please be patient. I have had many people that I think they have an amazing message and I want to respond to it, but I want to wait until I have the time to respond in kind. And if I don't respond within 2 or 3 days, I may get a nasty message back, which then also signals to me maybe I don't want to be genuine friends.
I don't really want to know
person.
you that well. Yeah.
So I would say please be patient. And also for those of you who do get lots of messages, I've tried to make this a practice where I'm like, hey, I really want to answer this. I don't have time right now, but I hope to get to it within a week or whatever, just so that person knows. I think that's like a kind, respectful thing to do. And I try to do that. So I think be more fully yourself as much as you feel safe and comfortable to do so.
So does that mean vulnerability, sharing?
Yeah. It means sharing not only about your kink self, but about things that interest you. And usually you can find a common interest there, like music or vinyl or cross-country skiing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there is now a tipping off point where you're like, oh, okay, I can relate to this person on a different level than just they like my diaper pictures online.
Yeah, and I think your perspective is unique in that way, in that you're being approached, I would imagine, quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
From the other perspective, I remember being 30 years old and just so lonely. And I was active online, again, like Aldace said, commenting, liking, loving. But there was this barrier. So I don't know if this is helpful. I think your advice is really, really good. Mine is probably very similar. I just come from the perspective of the person wishing like hell somebody would connect with me, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, this is forever going to be two lives. There's the one that I live when I go to work and hang out with my friends at the bar. And then I'm forever going to be alone at night, like looking at these things. And that's a very normal thing to think. What broke it open for me was, well, I guess three things. One was the self-awareness to not get so impatient that I was that guy in your DMs or whatever, you know. Yeah. But I think Aldace has that, because right here it says, how do I do this without being a jerk, without being impatient? That's great self-awareness. So the second thing was being willing to take a lot of swings at it and not hit some of them. It was hard for me at first because it felt like rejection. And the reality is that online, it's just, you can both get inundated with friends and friend requests. And at the same time, it's so easy to ignore them in a way that it's not in regular life. So we're still trying to like operate by the regular life script. And then we feel rejected when it doesn't happen. But that's not how online works. So being willing to accept that, like, boy, some of these aren't going to work out, even though I really want them to, which is hard to do. But just remember, the forum is different. It's not a rejection of you the way that it is like in a real life conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then the third thing is exactly, I think, what you said, which is where appropriate, share who you really are. You don't have to share your home address and social security number, but share the things that you're passionate about. Talk about your hobbies and the things that you love. Share the things that are a struggle. Those all make you real. And eventually, and I do mean eventually, other people who share those things will find you. And one of those days it goes from, hey, I really have enjoyed messaging with you too. Would it be okay if we did a call sometime?
Exactly.
To make a friend.
Yeah.
And then that call becomes, hey, is it okay if I text you next time I'm feeling down, or next time I just want to chat?
Yeah.
And that now I have a phone full of friends that I can do that with and who do that with me.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a long process.
And I know how hard it is to be patient. I understand
It
that.
is.
I get that. Yeah. Yeah. And I think another rule of thumb is if you're online and you're sending messages, you have this sort of, anonymity. And I think sometimes people take advantage of that. So my advice would be, don't message somebody something that you wouldn't say to somebody in real life. Just don't do that. I mean, you might not be diapers, but don't be a dick. You're not going to be rude and presumptive, I hope not, to people in real life that you meet on the street or you're sitting next to on the bus. So don't do that online either.
Yeah, it would be really weird to ask the person next to you on the bus what underwear they're wearing.
Yeah.
Or if they've peed in it recently.
Right.
Yeah.
Or to just say, I want you to change my diaper. Or I want you to cook me chicken nuggets. It doesn't have to be a diaper thing.
Right.
Why you wouldn't say that to somebody else?
And you certainly wouldn't start a conversation with, hey, baby, I'm your daddy.
Right.
Right.
So don't do that online either. Right.
Although all days I will say, knowing your presence online, there is little risk of you doing that. But this is just good advice in general.
Yes. Yes.
So hopefully that's helpful. I know, especially, I am 46 years old. Over the age of 30, 35, 40, it can get more difficult. But I will say, lots of people over the age of 30, 35, 40 are really lonely and really desperate for friends because it becomes harder to do that. And so they may feel the same sense of loneliness that you do and the same sense of palpable joy and relief when they make a friend like you.
Yeah. I also wonder if there is FetLife groups that are more age specific. That might be easier.
Certainly.
I don't know. It's not something I'm not the best FetLifer. I don't look at all the groups.
Yeah.
But that might be a good place to start too, just to find someone that is, it's definitely, I find easier to initially make connections and relation with someone who's of your generation.
It is. It is.
So I don't know. Maybe that's something you can also look to online.
Yeah, and sending likes and loves is awesome, but get out there and share your thoughts, share your opinions, share that vulnerability. You don't have to trauma dump on everybody, but you can say, here's my experience, here's what I think, and that will help draw people to you who feel something similar or just find it intriguing that you feel that. Yeah.
And I'll give a little pro tip. People who make comments on a frequent basis on my stuff, and they're clever and kind, a lot of times after the first 5 or 10, I may just message that person. So, because I'm hey, I might just even say, I love all the love that you always give me. And it makes me laugh.
It's not hard to find your love language, which is giving love. So if somebody does it enough, I bet you're oh, you are an intriguing human being.
But I don't want just someone to be hey, baby, I love your butt.
Well, that's different, isn't it? Spreading love and positivity in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. What you got for me?
I have another question. Would you like it?
I really would.
This is also from Catavan.
I know we got a bunch of them from Catavan that I thought were great on Reddit.
So this is from Catavan on Reddit, and they say, what are some of the signs that show a lack of self-acceptance and internalized shame? What would healthier self-acceptance look like beyond owning the label?
Ooh, beyond, in quotes, owning the label. So I own that I'm an ABDL. We're looking for a little more than that. What are signs that you have self-acceptance beyond just owning that label? What a cool question. I have gone through so many layers of this myself. When I first, I'll tell you what, step one, you have to accept that if it's been there your whole life, it's probably going to keep being there, right? That pivot point of recognizing that and making decisions as if it were true, because it is, for most people, not for everybody. That was my first step in acceptance. Owning the label came shortly thereafter, which is, I guess there's a name for that, right? But there's so much more after that. And there are kind of stages to it in my experience. So one of them is when that binge and purge cycle or that shame cycle starts to slow down. So sometimes You've heard of post-nut clarity? You know this concept?
Sure.
Lola? Yeah. It's the idea that after somebody has an amazing orgasm, that then they just feel depressed and gross, right?
Yeah.
This is very present in folks in the ABDL world who are at that beginning of the self-acceptance process. And it's, of course, like after you come, you're tired or sleepy. But you know what I feel after I come with diaper stuff? Just
the craziest, most surrealist things.
the most amazing, bizarre euphoria that happens when dopamine just floods your brain, uninhibited by shame. And it's magnificent. It's just that glow. And the reason that I get that is because I no longer have the voice that immediately follows that says, this is wrong, you're bad, you're broken, you shouldn't be, this is weird. That voice is a function of a bunch of beliefs that you're holding on to about what is and isn't okay for an adult or for you in particular to do. So for me, the next stage is beginning to question my beliefs. So I've accepted that this is probably going to be a part of me forever. If it hasn't gone away my whole life, it's probably not going to. So what if I made decisions as if that were true? The second step was, what beliefs do I hold about what is right and wrong? And if we're not talking moral, what is just repulsive or not repulsive? Or if we're not even talking about repulsion, what is fitting and unfitting for somebody like me, whatever that means to you? And we've talked about this on other episodes, but things like body image come into play, right? I think somebody my size shouldn't do this, or I think somebody my gender shouldn't do this, or somebody my age shouldn't do this, or whatever it happens to be. The trick to that, if you want to get over that part, is observing the shame. So watch that post-nut clarity, or watch that moment when you feel like throwing away all your diapers, or you feel like you're doing something wrong, and ask, what belief is undergirding that? What am I feeling ashamed about specifically? And observing that belief without judging it, just observing it. And once you get your hands around that belief, then you ask yourself, do I really believe that? And am I willing to live the rest of my life believing that? Right? Because go back to point A. This isn't going away.
Yeah.
And if the answer is no to either of those questions, do I really believe that deep down? If the answer is yes, then ask yourself the second one. Am I willing to continue believing that for the rest of my life about myself? Is that serving me well?
That is good advice.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can do that with each one of these beliefs. And you have to do it over time. And have that dialogue with yourself. And do it out loud if you need to. If you're alone.
Or
and
journal.
Or journal or whatever.
Or instead of, purging, put everything in a box in the corner of your basement.
Yeah.
And go journal about it.
Go journal about it.
Yeah.
But the trick is, like, what a lot of us do is we go, well, I'm not binging and purging anymore because all I do is lock my closet and not touch it for a month. Well, that's a purge. I mean, good for you for not throwing everything away.
Sure, but you need that second part of
But you need the second part.
Yeah.
The observation, the examining.
Yeah.
Questioning your beliefs and questioning, are those beliefs serving you well?
Yeah.
Especially given that this isn't going away. As you question those, as you wrestle with those, and one of the ways, by the way, that I do it is I ask, would I tell my friend in the same situation that if I really loved somebody, let's say I loved another 6'1", 240-pound hairy guy like me, right? And that guy came to me and said, I feel a lot of shame about wearing a diaper. Would I say, well, you damn right, you should.
No.
That's really gross.
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe it. And that's neither compassionate nor true. So why am I reinforcing that for myself? I actually don't believe it. So why do I believe it for me? That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is that I don't. It's that I have a lifetime of shame that I've practiced, and now I need to practice the other thing.
Yep.
So look at those beliefs one by one. Practice the other thing. Write it down. Write the advice to a friend that you need to hear. Just as many times as you need to, and deconstruct those beliefs one by one. And what would healthier look like? I think it's when you stop that shame cycle, or that shame cycle slowly gets longer in between experiences, and it gets less intense.
Yeah.
And I promise you, like, I don't think that I'm a sociopath. I do not have that experience anymore. I do not feel shame anymore.
Yeah, but it is very normal for it to come back.
Of course.
So.
Of course. And I'm not preaching from the mountaintop saying you should be like me. I'm just saying it is possible. Yeah. This is an intentional practice that you can do.
Yeah.
So I hope that's helpful. I think it's such a cool question, and I'm really glad to
That
get
was really good.
Good.
Like A+.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We both got a gold star today.
Hooray.
All right, I've got a fun one to wrap us up. You ready?
Okay. Yes, please.
This is, it's kind of two people asking a very similar question.
Okay.
So Josh Williams 3 says, I'd love to hear how a normal day works for you both. This is one of the things I've been obsessed with since I was a wee perv, was how do 24/7 people in their dynamic, how do they live? What is it like? And Fetish Freak 2332 said, since you're 24/7, I'd love to hear how a normal day goes for you. How many changes do you need per day and who does them? So do you want to walk us through a day of Lola and RY?
And both of these come from Tumblr.
Right
on. Well, I wake up in the morning. Wake up. Doo-doo.
Check. The alarm gives out a warning. You don't think you're going to make it on time.
How many more 90s references can we get?
As many as I can squeeze in there, buddy.
All right. So we wake up. I am in a diaper, like literally always in a diaper when I wake up, and a wet diaper at that. And I don't know, I go about basically just like everyone else does. So I get up and I do all my morning routine. I take off my diaper, I brush my teeth, I get in the shower, I make the coffee. Actually, coffee is first. I go get the coffee. Then I go do all the other stuff.
You bring me a cup of coffee.
I bring you a cup of coffee.
Every morning, and it's delightful.
I am a good little sub dad.
You are a good little sub.
And so that very much looks the same. And then depending on the day, if I'm going to one of my workplaces, I really can't wear a diaper there because I am around lots of people doing very active things. And so I don't wear diapers to that particular place, which is a relatively small part of my life, maybe 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get home, I will change right back into a diaper because that is my rule.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. I also, after having been 24/7 for like 2.5 years now, no, wait, is that right?
No, it's longer.
3.5 years now?
3.5.
Wow. Time flies, friends.
Doesn't it just when you're in diapers? It really does.
It isn't even like a question anymore. Like I literally don't even think about, like, I get home, I go straight to the diaper closet. Just as anyone would drop their bag at the door or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I go straight to the closet and I change into something, into a diaper and something like more appropriate to wear around the house. That accommodates my diaper. Now, a lot of times, like, especially during the day, you're working, right? So you're not available to change me.
Right.
So I will change myself. If you are there and home, you will change me.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like I still ask you, like, you don't, or I still say, I guess every night, I'm like, you don't have to. And you're like,
I find that so funny. You still go, you don't have to change me.
I do that a lot.
And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Because you're all comfy in bed.
I do it because I like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do it because that's our thing.
Yeah. You're not sick of it?
No, far from it.
So ways that normal, quote unquote, normal life is different is that when we go out, even if I want to have just like a little clutch or something, I still take my diaper bag and I leave it in the car because I need to have an option of a change or two whenever we go out. Like that basically always goes with us. Even if we're going to a fancy dinner like we just did over the weekend, I had my little clutch, diaper bag was in the car.
Yeah. Well, the rule is, right, if you're in diapers 24/7, then you're not going to take it off and not put another one on.
Yeah.
And you're not just going to pee through it forever, right?
Whoa.
And leave a trail everywhere you go.
How would that work?
But so, like, you have to bring backups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I do. And sometimes I tuck a pull-up in that. Like I always have one in there. Or if I go like on a trip, I always have a couple of pull-ups just as like a backup to be safe option. I like to be safe and know that I have my options in case something crazy comes up.
Yeah.
And you always have the option too, which has only happened honestly like 2 times in 3.5 years I can think about where I don't have my backup for whatever reason and I cannot keep peeing in this. I will go to the bathroom of whatever public place we're in. I will take off the diaper and I will go commando.
Yep.
Like that is always an option.
Yeah.
You might pee yourself. Now I am not, I am not incontinent. It is harder. I guess I should say it is more uncomfortable for me to hold my pee now.
After all these years, sure.
After all these years, I am not incontinent. So that is an option for me.
Yeah.
And it always makes me feel good. But literally, I think I've done that 2 times.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
And normally, if it's going to happen, there's a conversation or an acknowledgement.
Yeah. And I'm like, something ripped. But
yeah.
I think one of the times like a thing ripped and I was like, that was my second thing. What do I do now?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty accommodating for stuff like that.
You're very good about it, Daddy. Yeah. What else is different?
How many changes a day was the question?
Okay. How many changes a day? So
first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
Unless it's a lazy Saturday or Sunday, and then it will lay in for a while.
And you have dressed me appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing in the morning, when I get home from work, usually around dinner or a little after, I'll put like a thinner one on for the rest of the evening, and then nighttime. Yeah. So 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are other people around for any reason, family, friends, it's just all very discreet. And sometimes we just go to pull-up mode. And it's like, look, we cannot pull this off. We're just going to pull-up mode. Use the body as you need to.
And that is a thing that we have discussed and communicated. I do not feel comfortable wearing around my family.
Yeah.
So I wear pull-ups around them. But I still wear diapers at night, and I just like double bag them and leave them under the bed and take them with me and put them in the garbage pan or garbage bag or garbage can. Like at a gas station or something like that. Yeah. When we're leaving.
And generally, if we're in a place where other people are around or whatever, messy stuff just doesn't happen. It's just that's on pause for that period.
I guess people really want to know about the messy.
They love to know about the messy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do messy when I'm like visiting people or we're traveling unless it's like a kink specific thing.
Yeah. If it's part of the plan.
If it's like, we're at a kink cabin with all of our diaper friends, then like I will probably do that and then change right away or get changed.
And even that's sort of behind closed doors. And,
yeah.
Because we don't want to make that everybody's problem.
Correct.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty good summation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And if we're switching, sometimes I'll say, look, I want you in undies today. I want to be in diapers. I want you in undies. That sounds fun to me. And she'll do it for a day. And then by the end of the day, she's like, this sucks.
Oh, yeah. I do not go to bed without a diaper. Like, I'm like, that is not an option for me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, when you never have to get up and pee, it's like you kind of get used to the convenience of it.
I've done it at like family things when there's like a sleepover situation. I'm like, this is the worst.
But I also like it when we play matchy-matchy, so that's good too. Sometimes
we do.
Sometimes we just both wear diapers together, and sometimes it's the same diaper, and it's fun. Not the same actual one.
Ooh, we should try that.
Do they make them big enough? I don't know. So yeah, that's a good 24 hours in our life. Solid summation.
I wear a lot of skirts and dresses.
A lot of skirts and dresses.
Yep.
And again, we simultaneously maintain this 24/7 rule and dynamic, but we also are super respectful of other people's consent, and so nobody's ever wise to it unless they're part of our community.
I mean, people ask me all the time, like, has anyone ever like noticed? I'm like, maybe, and hasn't told me, but I always am very respectful. They cannot consent. People at the grocery store cannot consent to being a part of and seeing your kink. So just be discreet.
Yeah. It's not that hard, friends.
Don't be a dick.
That's a good rule for today. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And most people aren't. And most people are very good about that.
Yes.
That is our 6 questions, Lola. We've done it. And in just about almost exactly an hour.
Look at us.
This is a long question roundup, but damn it if it's not a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. We only get to do them once a quarter.
There was some tough stuff.
I know. Love the curveballs, man. Yeah. Love the curveballs. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with another guest episode. I won't tell you what it is because I don't know yet. We have one on the docket that I keep waiting for guest confirmation on. So I'm not going to tell you because I don't know. But
it's about airplanes.
It's probably about airplanes or something. But stick around for that in just a couple of weeks. We've been really consistently scheduling ahead, and between Lola and Teddy and I producing, we now have a schedule that takes us all the way through the mid-June or maybe the end of June. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't send in your questions and your show ideas because they may end up on a question roundup like this, or they may become the next show end of June.
Did you know there's 6 more months after June?
There is 6 more months on the calendar. After that, God knows.
Yeah.
Who knows what happens after December? Almost, we just run out of days.
How would one know?
How would one know? But please send in your questions. You can send them to loveandbrief@gmail.com. You can go to resonantyes@tumblr.com. You can go to Lola and then some, except the O and some is a 0.
On Tumblr, not on FetLife.
Tumblr. You can go to FetLife and send it to resonantyes or Lola and then some. Or you can go to Instagram and send it to the Love and Brief Instagram account. All are very good choices. Or you can join our FetLife group, Love and Brief Podcast at FetLife, and that's where we release episodes first.
And you get like super secret stuff on there too.
I just put a super secret thing on there today. Hush, hush. So join the Love and Brief podcast group on FetLife. Those are all ways that you can submit your thoughts, comments, ideas. This show is so much richer when you are a part of the dialogue. I can't tell you how meaningful that is to us. So please do. Also, on your podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts or whether you're listening on Spotify, throw a star rating and potentially even a review. It helps other people find us.
That'd be so sweet. Yeah. Every time you say podcatcher, I just imagine a dream catcher like above my childhood bed.
Aww.
And it's like catching all these beautiful pods.
All these little pods.
Like peas.
Oh.
And beans.
Well, that sounds nice.
Oh.
Waking up to a whole catcher full of beans. Friends, this has been fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Lola, any other words before signing off?
All I want to say is happy anniversary, Daddy.
Oh, happy anniversary to you,
I love you.
I love you too. And I love all of you, but in a very, very different way. We will see you in 2 weeks. This has been another episode of Love in Brief.